for a minute. All right, I'm gonna bring the Grand County School District Board of Education regular board meeting and public hearing to order. It's Wednesday, April 29th, 2026. It is 5:19. We are here at the district office and available via Zoom. All board members are present. Terry and Matt are both here. We will have a public hearing on our budget, but if you're here to speak to the board, please fill out a public or a speaker card if you're here for regular public comment. And please turn your cell phones off, vibrate. Did I say it all? Do the pledge of allegiance. New kids here today. Huh. Dave, will you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, mission statement. Jenna, will you read our mission statement?
Our mission is to put each student first every day.
Perfect. Approval of the agenda.
I would move to approve the agenda.
There's a second? Second. Dave Bershon makes a motion, Kathy Williams seconds to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye. Aye. That passes 5-0. Public comments? Any public comments? No public comments. Board recognition. So she was coming?
Yeah. So go
What?
down on the agenda.
Oh, okay. Information discussion items. So we will have the trust lands presentations. We'll start with HMK. Holly is here. There you are. Yeah, I'm just like seeing blank faces. All right. You want to talk us through the trust lands for next school year?
Sure. So we met 2 or 3 Mondays ago. And approved our plan. Well, the first Monday of the month, I guess, is when it was. So our first goal is centered around ELA Ag Math. And basically what we decided was to continue our focus from this year and maintain that same focus for next year. So really the goal is staying the same. The only emphasis we put on there is that we want to narrow that achievement gap for our subgroups since we are all CSI. So we've kind of added that language in there. So what we're wanting to do is increase our placement with Acadian's reading composite and then using iReady Math and reading as well. We did not put Acadian's math on there because it is going to be going away at the state level where it's no longer going to be paid for. It's not a reliable data source. So we did take that out. With that, we broke down our action steps, which are very similar to last year. So what we want to continue doing is hire and retain some more educational support professionals. So we currently have 1 that is being funded for reading. We want to add an additional 1 for math. And then we also have some intervention tools that we'd like to purchase in response to some of our goals for CSI. And then we want to allocate 10,000 for Chromebooks to offset the cost of that. Let's see. We also want to continue to maintain the instructional leadership in our building. So providing stipends to our specialists, our 3 specialists, and also our, what we call our GPS team, which is our leadership team, made up of our lead teachers. Those were the only big money items, and then continued professional learning for our teachers, putting some money aside for them to attend professional learning, which I think is very important. And then finally, some incentives for some additional stipends for anyone that is willing, for up to 2 teachers that are willing to get their ESL endorsement, which targets our CSI subpopulation. And also anyone that's willing to attain their letters certification or Aspire certification, which also helps with our literacy goals. So that is goal number 1. Any questions on that? Okay.
The 120-minute daily literacy block.
And that's actually a state requirement to have that much time set aside for literacy.
But and then it includes 25 minutes in math, but like
Yeah.
reading math.
So
or,
no, it would be 25 minutes of tier 2 math, which would be like additional math support.
But then it's all literacy block, like. It says literacy
Um,
block, daily literacy block, like.
No, 25 minutes in math will be specialized and targeted. You're looking at number 1, correct?
Yeah, but it says which will include 30 to 45 minutes of skill-based instruction for all students in reading.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
we'll have 120-minute block total for literacy. And within that 120 minutes, it will include 30 to 45 minutes of tier 2
But not,
instruction.
it doesn't include. the
It does
25
not
minutes.
include the
Okay.
math. Yep. Yeah. And then which means in addition to
Yeah,
25 minutes in math. Okay. Goal number 2. So, in order to hit our upper grades and also target science, which is one of our categories for CSI as well. We want to increase the percentage of students in 3rd through 6th scoring proficient at the end of the year in mathematics and science by 5%. Our goal this current year was 4%. So we have kind of upped it a little bit to be a little more ambitious, but that's where we're at this year. And then looking at our action plan for that, we will maintain a 90-minute daily block schedule, which going along with what I was saying with literacy is what's recommended by the state office, which will then include 25 minutes of skill-based instruction, which is that tier 2 instruction. We will, and I've relisted some of the same things from goal 1 because I mean, it's all working towards the same thing. So obviously hiring more staff, getting some more intervention tools, Chromebooks would help with that as well. Professional learning will help, instructional leadership. And then where we've added in around science, especially, and social studies, and then even just ELA supports would be funding for field trips, and any other experimental or enrichment activities for students to do. And then I did put in like having those incentives for teachers to get their endorsements. And then any additional funds that aren't used could be used towards technology outside of anything that's unused. So questions on that one? And then finally, goal number 3 is kind of falling in line with the goals that I set as a school this year. And so we want to focus in on family engagement, but also behavioral things. And we know that if you increase family engagement, you oftentimes decrease behavioral results that you're getting. So we want to decrease behavioral office referrals by 10% and increase parent participation in statewide academic events and achieving. So we've been keeping track of that this year. So we just want that 90% or higher percentage participation rate for parents. And then, like I said, decreasing our office referrals by 10%.
That seems really high.
Are you getting that?
Yeah, we actually did. We got 90.5 in parent engagement this last round with parent teacher conferences. Yeah. And I take that 0.5 because I.
Yeah.
So the 90% would include all these things?
It
Like,
would,
or
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, but that was just me looking at just parent teacher conferences for spring, which is actually harder to get parents to come in the spring.
Mhm.
But we did really comfortable. So, yeah. And then action steps for that, what we would like to do is hire a 3/4 position for someone to come in and help with specific behavioral intervention. And that would be an instructional person, so someone who's going to come in and teach some behavior skills to students. They would kind of be added to our team of behavior coaches that we currently have. And then we also obviously want to continue to incentivize our students with the new change in trust lands, allowing for approximately $4 per student for student incentives. We're right within just under that threshold.
$4 a year.
Yeah, per kid, yeah. So for our school, it'd be about 2,300 with our current enrollment, so I just allocated 2,000 for that.
Do they audit that kind of like thing where
I
you'd be
don't know.
like, you spent $4.50 on that one, but
Melissa. Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm sure they
There
will,
you go.
they do, they audit, the- not just.
Oh, what incentives that we do, like I mentioned on there, persons of
Because they
excellence,
want
or
like
concentrate matter, all the things we do, just, it's.
the other parts of the plan, not incentives.
But I don't want
Right.
somebody, they would audit a kid, like they would be like,
No, but
you
they audit
spent
people
$10 instead of $4.
They offer.
It's average, right?
It's an
It's
overall.
average, $4 average.
They look at this, probably the bottom line of what you spent in that category.
How many kids? Well,
And then setting aside some funds for that parent engagement. We obviously will pair those funds with what we get from Title I funds, and then also we get some additional funds from Title II to kind of help support that. So, or Title IV is what I meant to say. And then supporting our student mentoring, because I think that that's really important, and it's a great partnership that we have with Grand Area Mentoring. So that is our third one. Questions on that one? So when it's all said and done, we will have just a little bit of carryover because I am one of those type of people that like to have a buffer just in case. And so we're well within the 10%, but there should be about $1,900 left over that could potentially be rolled into technology or funds in other areas that we may need later on. So that's it. Any other questions?
We will extend that this year.
It hasn't happened yet. It's
Okay.
coming up on May 14th. And actually Melissa Roy is in charge of it.
It's a pre-K.
Yeah,
Oh.
Young kid.
it'll be a
Okay.
pre-K one this year.
fun.
So the state has actually offered some programming for it this year for free. And so we're kind of jumping on board with that and targeting pre-K and up to 5-year-olds. So 3 to 5-year-olds.
And do they have to be in the preschool?
No, they're just ages.
Just ages 3 to 5.
Age.
Okay.
Just 3 to 5. Okay. Any other questions for me?
But that's 8 adding income.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. We can go back. All right, we're gonna move back on our agenda. And we are going to recognize Nurse Mary, who just walked in, we're in front row, there you are. She won the Utah School Nurse Association's Mary Ito Award, one of the most prestigious available. Attached is her nomination. That's a long nomination.
I will say, I watched
Um,
the video, that video.
Well, we're gonna, we can watch
Watch the video?
Let's watch the
Yeah,
video.
it was really good. It's really good. Look how
Good afternoon, my name is Megan, and I get to, I have the privilege to stand before you and present one of the most prestigious awards and honors, is the Mary Ito Award. So this award was created to honor the legacy of Mary Ito and her philosophy to live well, laugh often, and love much. Today, we recognize someone who doesn't just work in school nursing, they embody the philosophy through a tireless commitment to students in a rural, medically underserved community. To understand why this recipient was chosen, you have to understand the landscape of their work. Imagine being the only school nurse for the entire district, providing oversight for nearly 1,500 students across 3 schools, a preschool, an alternative high school, in a region often described as an island in the desert. This individual has become a vital connector between families and the care they desperately need. In 2019, this nurse became the first full-time school nurse their town has seen in at least 3 generations. Since then, they have stared down significant barriers, financial hardship, intergenerational poverty, and the isolation of a frontier area where the nearest pediatric sedation dentist is 120 miles away. Instead of seeing these distances as obstacles, this nurse sees them as opportunities for collaboration. She has coordinated an annual clinic with the BYU Family Nurse Practitioner Program, bringing 30 students and 10 faculty members over 3 hours away to serve local kids. She partnered with the Community Multicultural Center to break down the language barriers, and she innovated dental and vision programs that have screened hundreds of students, ensuring that no one's help falls through the cracks simply because of a zip code. Their guiding motto is simple: say yes to an opportunity to form a partnership that will benefit health services. This proactive spirit hasn't just impacted their local district, it has impacted nurses across the country. This individual was even featured on NASA's podcast, Beyond the Band-Aids, sharing this expertise on children's dental health. Whether she's navigating the challenges of Grand County or building bridges between schools and healthcare providers, her leadership and compassion is unwavering. So, it is my absolute honor to announce that the recipient of the Mary Ida Award for her incredible heart and her service to her students in Moab is Mary Frothingham. You guys, she had no idea. This is a very well-deserved, and if you guys haven't seen the podcast, I suggest looking it up through NASA. All right.
Have you digested that? And now you have a speech ready?
Except it seems amazing.
Congratulations.
Especially very present because I am on the awards committee.
Did you bring your, oh, you didn't bring
I
your.
didn't bring it. I will say I kind of want to put a shout out to our former superintendent because the BYU, I mean, she kind of did, it's kind of a team effort, and I think it's kind of amazing. Or the director of the Family Nurse Practitioner Program sent out over 200 emails soliciting potential rural partners, and he got 1 response. And that was Taryn, who got the email and said, I don't know. And she just clicked forward because she knew I'd have lots of ideas. and I just appreciate having the opportunity to just, I mean, I did have lots of ideas, and there were a lot more ideas, and there's a lot more opportunity for continued partnership with BYU. So it's just, I appreciated that she just kind of gave me the
Was it your idea then to do the dental clinic? They were just saying, how can we help you guys?
yeah, they wanted, and actually he was thinking more in the lines of like doing sports physicals, and And one of the ideas we talked about was SBIRT, and
Oh.
that was one they were really excited about. But dental is also something, when I came into this position, and like the first year or two through, I was just asking lots of questions and trying to find out what the need was. And I heard over and over and over again from teachers that dental was a big concern. And it was very subjective. Nobody really had any firm data. And that was one of the big advantages of this. We were able to start really small with a small pilot with just kindergarten, and it happened very quickly. It happened within a few months, just doing a pilot project. And from there, each time we do one of these, we learn more and more and are able to gather more and more data. And now, like, I have completely geeked out on it, and I have even like developed like risk ranking, and which is utilizing clinical risk, and able to like now really have the information on who our highest risk kids are, so we can do more targeted interventions. But now we have that data, which we didn't have before, so we have a real picture of what the need really is for that. And it was something that he wasn't necessarily expecting, but it fit within the scope of practice for family nurse practitioners. And why this particular project is getting so much attention is because it is integrating oral health with primary care. And it's also, so we're training future family nurse practitioners. So that's one big reason why it's considered. It's also I also just found this out, it's being published in the Association of State Dental Health Directors for model projects.
Yeah. Good for you.
And I understand it's all, part of Healthy People 2030 goals of integrating primary and oral health care. And
Well, if you've ever seen it in action, I mean, I've gone to one of those, and it's just like so impressive how well organized it is and how many kids they see. And
Well, when I worked with her for the iClub, it was just very different. But one of the things that I was impressed was how well you knew the kids. I mean, and these are kids that I know you see them, but these are the kids specifically with the glasses. And like, I know that one's, at home, we need to get them here, like calling people, like you were just so on it with knowing who every single one of those, I guess, middle and high school at that point, or high school kids, like their background with their glasses, and okay, he doesn't wear them, we need to work on this. And it just was really impressive how well, just the extra steps. You weren't there just to do eye exams. It's all that extra stuff that I saw in one day that when I saw that video, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see that. So.
Congratulations.
very
Yes.
impressive.
You can head out if you.
Won't hurt our
feelings
at all. But yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, next we'll move on to the middle school trust lands.
Yes. Oh, I don't know if you guys have it pulled up or not, but. So essentially, most of our plan is devoted to the art instructor salary and the strings program salary. But a lot of it is also devoted to professional development for staff members and supplies for staff members in classrooms. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have.
This is 26, 27.
Yes.
Can you explain to me again, and I'm so sorry, how, about the school, year, about the RISE data, how you're basing it on the data, like, for example, using the RISE pretest benchmark beginning milling in for the year 24, 25, like how, because I know we get that data late. Can you just like remind me of that, like when we get the data? And you know what I'm saying?
So like
I know
when
we've
we'll,
discussed this before. I just feel like I don't.
Why isn't it 25, 26?
so this is actually for next year.
Right.
So it should be 26, 27.
You mean the
Okay.
measurements? Is that just a typo?
It could be just a typo.
Okay.
The measurements.
Yeah, right here, it says
In the
24.
measurement section, okay, yeah, definitely a typo.
Oh,
Oh, I
So,
see
but
it
that's
now,
what-
yep,
But you're using the data from 25, this year's data, right, for
correct,
that?
so
Okay.
growing from 25, 26 to,
Okay, that's what I just wanted to clarify.
thank you. Oh, nobody on my council noticed that.
And then up top, it should say 26, 27.
Any other questions?
Where do they put the whiteboards? Where do they, do you have a special place for the, like a special classroom for those in particular, the two touchscreen interactive whiteboards?
Yes.
Like where they're going?
Miss McKinney, our seventh grade math teacher, has requested one, and Miss Geiser, our special education teacher, has requested one as well.
Do all the classrooms have whiteboards? I can't, I mean, I've done the tour, I can't. remember.
Normal whiteboards, yes, interactive whiteboards, no. Right now I'm kind of doing it on a, do you want this technology or not piece, because we do have some
Yeah.
teachers who are not reliant on that and some who are.
Understood.
Okay, any other questions? All right, thank you.
Yes, thanks.
High school.
Okay.
Trust lands plan. Corey.
You guys have access to it, correct?
Mhm.
So our goal is more specified this year, but pretty much the same as last year, which is to improve our proficiency scores. Last year, we didn't specify proficiency, so it wasn't clear whether we were improving our growth scores or our proficiency scores. This year, we are improving our proficiency scores by 3% compared to the previous year. And then I listed all of the test data that we would use to measure whether we increased our proficiency scores or not, including graduation rates. And then the academic areas that were listed. Last year, the feedback that the school committee council gave was that they have to tie in to how you're raising those scores. So that little paragraph there just is explaining how all of the academic areas tie in and what will happen for each academic area. And then the funding, we have $32,000 for the academic support teacher. The $7,200 for the testing coordinator. The leadership team will get $10,400 and the wellness courses will get $4,000. Grand area mentoring will receive $4,000 and this is cut off for me. Oh, it's cut off for you too. It looks better on the plan.
It looks like it's just.
It's the
Yeah,
$1,900 the $1,904 is the incentive, which was raised from $2 per student to $4 per student for next year. And then the 23,000 is sort of, they took away that line item that was like, this is for anything else that's not allocated. So the 23,000 is in there for any of those universal supplies that we may need. I didn't break out the line items because the ones that are listed here are some of the other supplies that may be needed. And then the 5,500 is specifically to support teacher training for the various things that we may need training for, including the art and science of teaching with the step 2 or level 2 of the high reliability schools. We have $25,000 allocated for Chromebooks, which was 7,000 more than last year, based on my conversation with Jerry. And then the other 21,000 is allocated for staff laptops. So, yeah, and then 12,500 is allocated for travel for all of these things that are listed, and some of them may change, some of them may cost more or less, but basically it's for field trips. And then the last $30,000 will be provided for instructional materials, training, whatever that we need in order to sort of run the school. It's like the old unallocated funds, but technically it is allocated.
So I have a question about 23. That you were saying that sort of, yeah,
Oh,
if that, do they, how, and Jerry, this might be a question for you. I'm curious, just how strict are they about? I mean, they give you enough leeway of how you can spend that. I'm just curious if they like, oh, that, in hindsight, how strict they are.
they
about
may
how you
be
spend that.
back.
They do, so,
They do.
so if she like has 23,000, if the high school has 23,000 that they would like to
Catch all.
spend, it has to fit, and they know what it is, within the parameters and the scope
Right.
of the trust land funds. So it can't be just like, oh, we're gonna throw a pizza party and just have a great time. It does
Right.
have to fit into those, into
Those
that
categories.
scope.
Yeah.
Typically, trust lands runs about a year behind in their monitoring, which is, getting some monitoring stuff from last year right now.
Yeah,
But they do, I've had 2 monitorings for trust lands this year. They do look at them.
I was gonna say, that's what I was wondering, like, how does the staff know, like, they know to make sure
They
everything.
know,
I
the-
just-
they
this
know
is such
the
in your
program
pocket.
rules for trust lands way more than I do. of
Okay,
what the
yeah.
funds can be spent for.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm trusting as they put their plans together. I mean, I've gone through the trust lands, webinars also so that I know what is acceptable, but that doesn't necessarily mean I know, yes, what the line items are, but I leave it at their discretion to spend them appropriately because it is their funds to spend.
Sure, well, of course, I'm just wondering how.
But they
like,
do
with a
want
magnifying glass, they get, I guess. It's-
I think it's more than now than it used to be. I don't, I'll let the rest of them speak too, but
Yeah.
in my own personal experience, it seems to be, has a
They're getting
much larger
stricter about it.
magnifying glass on it.
Well, and last year they had a line item called undesignated funds. They didn't want to say grants, so they put undesignated funds. If you notice that line item is, they no
But now
longer
they're-
have that category. Which is why I put some little extra money here and there that for these things, supplies and training. Yeah. Questions?
I have a general question just about all of them. So this has been submitted by the school to
Only
up
to the
north,
LEA, so
only to us and to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's approved by the LEA, then it goes to
state.
the state.
And they're due May 15th. Ours were due to Jerry, she's the LEA like reviewer, the 21st or something, and so they're in to her, and that's why you have access to them, you didn't have access to the draft. Yeah. And then you guys approve it, and before May 15th ideally, and then Jerry submits on behalf of all of us to the state.
And then if they don't like something, they send it back, basically, so then you get it.
They ask for revisions. Yeah, and I think when they ask for revisions, it doesn't have to go back to the board, but if we make revisions, then it has to go back to the board.
Right, like if you don't spend something a certain way and you want to spend it a different way. then
Correct.
it has to come back.
Correct, but if they don't like that $30,000 and they want specific line items of what has got to be spent,
Then you
down,
would-
they can
yeah.
ask for that.
Mhm.
But that just goes right back into the plan and gets submitted right back to the
Yeah.
LEA. And right back to
Yeah.
them.
I have a question about the testing coordinator.
Yes,
With that, is that a salaried person after school?
yes,
Okay. And so they'll provide this. Okay. Is it with benefits then? Is a stipend with benefits? Does a stipend come with benefits?
Oh, not the medical, but.
But FICA,
Retirement.
retirement. Is that a, is that gonna, how, let me see, is that like 2 times a week, once a week? Just when they do, I mean, how's that gonna, how do you,
it's not new. We've been doing it for the last 6 years.
I feel like that's more money, but maybe it's not.
Well, so you're right, it was 6,000, but it was 6,000 in the budget, but it hadn't included benefits. And
Oh,
so we would always spend more than 6,000 or not make, like this, the stipend coordinator thought they were receiving, right? So even the stipend coordinator this year was like, I hear it's up to 7,200. I was like, to be clear, it's still $6,000 with benefits. And that's split this year because I have 2 testing coordinators. And so one took on Aspire Plus and the other took on ACT.
and they're doing that after
Correct.
they're not doing it during their prep times or anything, they're
No,
doing it.
I mean, the
ex-
testing is within the school day, but
Yeah,
all of the extra work that goes into coordinating the testing is outside.
On number 3, there is in the middle of the paragraph, it supports a position to assist students navigating post-secondary education options. So
Okay.
that is a person.
So within that $10,400,
Mhm.
the school committee council had an extra $2,000. So they wanted to allocate $2,000 to a person who can help with post-secondary exploration.
So that would be like college applications and stuff like that. That would be
Prep,
great.
Yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah. It's not a ton of money,
No.
but at least it's another stipend for somebody to, you know,
Yes, help
with
kids
college applications.
navigate.
Yeah.
it seems to be a lot of technology
Yeah.
in this,
Yeah.
like a lot.
Well, we bought the teacher laptops, like 5-6 years ago with the school community council money, and so they have their desktops. But a lot of them come to rely on these laptops, and so we're at end of life for their original laptops. We didn't get great ones, we're gonna go a little bit upgrade on them, but I think that laptops in general are 5 or 6 years to end of life.
Is everybody getting one?
No, so not
Is
every
it a
teacher has
rotation?
it's not necessarily rotation, because not everybody's gonna use one. But the ones who are, we're right now going through and going, how many do we need? Because it's gonna have to take some of this lot. We had some on this year's budget, and we'll have some on next year's budget. So there's some, we're gonna buy some before, like right now. And then some July, in the beginning of July. So that ideally we can get everybody on this rotation, like everybody gets a replacement this. But we'll be sitting in meetings, which I'm sure you guys get this. And like people's laptops will die and then it's like they can't keep with the me. We're just end of life.
Mhm. Mhm. 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes. Any other questions? All right, thanks, Carly. See now what am I supposed to do for 2 minutes?
We can recess for 2 minutes before we go into our meeting.
Okay.
Let's recess. I'll accept a motion to recess.
I'll make a motion to recess.
Is there a second? Hey, Kathy Boone, thanks, motion. Laura Lee Green seconds, would recess at 5:58 for 2 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Do we pause our streaming?
No.
They get moved.
Nope.
What? We need to start recording.
No.
He said no. Oh.
No.
Yeah, every time we recess, we're recording,
But it's the same recording for the budget.
Monday, Ross is doing so good.
Okay, who did that motion?
Kathy.
Oh.
And Lori. I don't have a, oh, there we go.
Voting.
Bodie?
I think that is
6 o'clock.
All right.
we already done.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah. Go for it.
Oh.
Well, I'll let you pull it
Sorry.
first.
all right, I'm gonna come back out of recess. It is 6 o'clock. We are going to. Let me see if I have a. I am going to. Let's see. Jerry Hamilton will present the proposed bid revision. No. It's this.
Opening the public hearing.
For the revision?
Yes.
Okay, we'll present the proposed revision of the FY 25-26 budget. All right, so you'll do the presentation, then we'll have a public hearing afterwards.
Then I can drive right into it.
Oh, no, anything else really, but. Okay, so this is the current fiscal year's mid-year budget updates following updated revenues from the state, so. The first. And it's gonna be me. Okay, now that you'll scroll down to the first page. After the title page, so the first page is just a summary of Fund 10. That's small, that is pretty small. That's our general fund, Fund 10, so we'll come back to this page. This is a summary of the revenues and the expenses, so I'm gonna come back to this page, so if you go back to the second page for me. This is the revenues of the general fund broken out. As you kind of, the top one is the local sources, which is all of the different taxing levies. The middle there is state sources, kind of above the line as you've come to know it, and then down below the related to basic programs, those are the below the line revenues. There's not a lot, if you'll just keep cruising, yep, not a lot of changes here. The one thing that you stop right there, the one thing that you will notice, the peach cells was the original budget that was presented in last June. The yellow cell is the ones that we're discussing today. That's the budget revisions. So in the peach, you'll see a lot of dashes. In the yellow, the state has given us the revenues for some of those specific programs as they've allocated that out. So you'll notice that the state support is up just shy of $1 million. That's mainly due to programs that were promised to be funded that we didn't have a budget for at the beginning of the fiscal year. We now have revenues for. So if you'll cruise down to the next page, this is the federal sources of revenue. Same here, you'll see that the federal sources are also up a little bit, a little over about $150,000. The biggest thing, the biggest increase there honestly is we received more money in our title funds and IDEA than we had been, than was the initial allocation. So the revenues are up there accordingly too.
we scroll down, so that's the revenues. Any questions on the revenues from the board side? Okay, I'm gonna cruise down to the next page, which is the expenses. So in the district, the biggest portion of our expenses is salaries. It's about 82% of our overall budget. So, the first one there is instructional salaries. No big surprises as you're cruising. You can just kind of, if you have a question, please ask. I'm just gonna cruise down through the salaries. You'll notice collectively as you go that the benefits are up just a little bit in every sector. The biggest part of that is the health insurance that increased last year. Didn't have a set rate when we did the initial budget. We do have that. So as you're cruising down, no staff services. These are just paras, some secretarial staff. The next page, keep moving. This is district administration, which is either school admin, business services like the DO office, transportation department, and operations and maintenance. So.
I do have a question about federal sources. I wasn't quick.
And the revenues?
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
had a question on that too.
I mean,
Okay.
why in some of those, it's included a revision, but it's not the same as the original budget, like just Beacon.
So that's, they got their grant at the beginning of the year and it stayed exactly the same.
But why is it under revision if there's nothing that's changed?
Because I still get the same revenue, so nothing's changed, but I have to show there was a budget in there at the beginning and there's a budget now. So for us, when we do a budget revision, it's not a difference. I'm presenting an overall new
Like a brand new
budget,
budget.
like a brand new budget.
Okay, yeah.
So I guess would be the best way to describe that.
So with the Beacon and mentoring, so that huge jump is because of the money that from 17 to what is it, yeah.
Some of it is Beacon mentoring, some of it, if you'll look up through there is, if you look at the IDEA special education,
Okay,
they got, about $30,000 more than what they had anticipated. The state, the same with some of the title funds. There's a little bit more in a couple of those, especially the Title III. They got an extra grant.
I was just
and
thinking
then-
specifically with the, like,
Oh,
the Beacon and
yep,
mentoring specifically.
So
that
one of
great
those-
jump. Is
That's
that-
a huge, the Beacon got a big grant for high school, middle school.
So that's more, yeah, I was just, is there ever a plan to separate those out or no? I'm just curious to see, because when I see that, I mean, they're great programs, but I'm like, what, did mentoring get more? of
Well,
it,
right,
or is it
if you can see on the one,
Break it out.
oh, that's their TANF grants. What I can tell you from looking at that 17,000 was the mentoring at the beginning of the year.
Right,
The difference between the 17 and the 168, if I take the 17 off, that's Beacon, because that came in September.
so that's so it's really Beacon money, mentoring didn't get more money somehow.
Beacon got a new grant.
Gotcha.
Beacon got awarded,
So that's, and that did hear about it.
Yep.
Okay, thank you,
Yep.
thank you.
they got awarded a TANF grant for middle school and high school programs. All right. So, page 2 of the revenue through the district administration, business services, operations and maintenance, student transportation, as I went through these, nothing alarming was standing out of being like highly over or highly under budget. Tracking fairly, I'd say fairly consistent and where we should be about this time of year.
Page.
Oh,
Yeah, it's operation.
This is the bottom, so this is gonna be,
Oh, you're at the very bottom.
you can move back up, go ahead.
Could you explain in a accounting way, the restricted indirect costs, why they're negative balances and how that, why we do have to do that or what that?
We have to show them as income, but then, so you'll see that they're a negative and a positive, they just offset each other.
What is that? Like what?
That's the indirect cost rate proposals that USBE requires if we, so the programs get expensed that indirect,
Mhm.
which becomes revenue for the district, but it's an expense for one part of the budget and kind of a revenue for the general part of the budget. So it's expense to the individual program that's reimbursed
to the district as an income for us, but they.
Is that- Is that usually building costs, utilities,
That-
salaries? What kind
No,
of costs?
those
What
are
kind of indirect costs?
Those are, usually it's just like the utilities, those are directly related to the programs, like the title programs. When I do grant reimbursements, you can have indirect cost rate, and that's just for mostly building
Buildings
usage.
and-
They're about 5%, restricted indirects are 5%. Most of the grant programs we have restricted indirect costs. There's a few unrestricted, but those aren't. Can't even really, I can think of one off the top of my head. Most of them are restricted, and they're federally restricted. You can recapture a little bit of what it costs to run the program from a facility standpoint, so to speak, but not 100%.
What is, staff services?
Where I'm looking.
Oh, I don't know where I'm looking.
Okay.
What page? am I
Staff,
on?
the bottom of page 2, salaries
I
and
don't think that's
stipends,
page 2, but.
or
yeah,
page,
It's like page 5.
yeah, I'm sorry, page.
Staff services.
Yeah. So that's, stipends that some of the admin payout, that's, custodial staff, that's, the salaries in there are part of the custodial staff. Some of it's clerical staff, some of it's library aides, a big chunk of it's stipends with the
So
teachers
when like
payout.
supplies go up, is that specific, are there reasons why we're overspending that budget? Was there a big purchase?
There would probably be, the cost of custodial supplies is higher.
Okay,
Maybe they went out and purchased some supplies for a particular program. Like, I'll take, for instance, the Title IV program, the numeracy program, it was a special grant, so the revenue went up, so the supplies go up because they bought supplies to fund that program. There are some grants that we got that there are not salaries associated with it, it was just for either supplies or curriculum. So those would go up in conjunction with that.
so.
What-
so, yeah, go ahead.
What category or would be like the technology staff, or what, like Kendra?
They're in.
What are they?
Support services,
services?
they're in the district, like in the
Oh.
business services.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious. If
Yep.
Things are.
So like supplies and instruction went up 200 and almost 250,000.
A big chunk, so 2 things for that. A big chunk of that was additional title money that we received. So they purchased, we had some extra Title III and extra Title IV funds.
Which are what are Title III and what are Title, what's that mean?
Title IV is numeracy. Title III is, that's a Holly question. Title III is our English language learners.
Okay,
And so those were curriculum and tracking programs for those, family engagement night.
Yeah.
and so we received income for
Yeah.
that?
So that's on the first page. There's
Okay.
those grants. We've gotten grant money for that. And those are grants are reimbursement based. So we pay for it up front, and then I request the reimbursement and have to show them that we spent the money. We spent the money. Any other questions? Did you cruising through? Okay, so if you go down to the bottom of this one, as again, you'll notice, with the total expenditures, the revenues are up over $1 million. The expenses are gonna be up somewhat appropriately. They're actually up just a little less than $1 million. Again, that's program related. Most of the programs, either staff or supplies go along with that, so. At the end of the day, that I'm happy that the expenses are less than the revenues that came in, so that's good news for me. Okay, any questions kind of on the general fund? I'll come back to the summary page when we're all done, because it'll show the fund balances and everything, if that's okay. So this is Fund 21. It says student activity fund. There are 0 changes to this budget. So this is the school's individual accounts. When they close out their year end in June, you'll see that blue column, it's blank right now. We'll have a budget revision in June once I reconcile their books and put them into our books. So there's no changes in Fund 21. So we can cruise down through that. Next one is Fund 26. This is the charter school pass-through. There is no changes in this. I will receive final revisions
in the middle of May from the state of Utah, so that there'll probably be a change there in the June revision, the final budget revision. So no changes on that one. The next one is the debt service. I guess the things to note in the debt service, you'll notice that the debt service levy is down just a little bit from where we originally budgeted it. That's due to the truth in taxation that we went through last August, where the board decided to not recapture as much in the certified tax rate that we could have for the debt levy, and to and then take part of that money that we didn't recapture and put it into the capital fund. So that is down just a little bit. That was by design, so that we could eat into the fund balance a little bit as the year goes along, so if it'll cruise down. You'll notice that right there, we have a deficiency of about $523,000. Again, by design, we're trying to eat into that fund balance just a little bit. We didn't increase the debt levy as much as we could have, and chose to pay for about 500,000 of that out of the general fund. So not that, actually, I'm really happy that that's kind of like right where we were planning it to be. So that was a happy number for me. So we'll cruise down to the next page. This is the capital. Couple of things to point out in the capital levy. You'll see here. The capital levy is down just a little bit. The biggest reason for that is we had anticipated increased income from the debt levy offset, but also we had the Mid-America payback, which hit the capital fund about $400,000. So the gains that we kind of were getting from the increase of the taxes were offset by that Mid-America.
So again, with that, Mid-America, they just take that money out of your income that they would send you.
Yep.
So we're not seeing it as an expense. We're just seeing it as less income.
Less income. We see it as less income.
And why is it out of the capital as opposed to the?
It's out of all of them. So it was
Oh,
1.5 total, and it's out of all of them
Okay.
on a percentage basis.
Mm.
So then if you'll kind of cruise down to the expenditures, big items to note there under construction services. HMK, the remodel project, it's a big chunk of the change in that. And also middle school. Middle school is now done, signed off on, totally complete. Change orders from the middle school, final retention numbers that were owed to the contractor because of the middle school. So that 6-year project is put to bed. So yay. So then,
And we got 2 buses.
oh, and 2 buses. So you'll see under there, under the 735, $400,000 for 2 school buses. Reason being for that is we actually ordered our bus last year, and it was supposed to arrive by June or July. It hadn't arrived by August when the auditors were here, and they said we had to void that check. So we voided the check that we cut for the school bus last year. The school bus actually came in December. Also, so we had to budget it last year's school bus plus this year's school bus. And so that is that. But I am assured that moving this year's school bus, we should be receiving it by July. So I can cut the check at the end of June and be fine.
When do we order them?
To order.
But when do we
Well,
order?
typically, she orders them in like December, and they're supposed to be here by June, but, in my asking questions, COVID put everyone way behind on that, and they're slowly getting caught up. So we ordered, this one in early March, and it should have an arrival date by July.
But you can pre-cut the,
I can, as long as it's like not 2 or 3 months in advance. If I cut it at the end of June and we actually get the bus in July, that's great. But we cut it in June and the bus still hadn't arrived by August, and then September when they came back, they said, yeah, you gotta avoid that. So anyway, that's what we had to do. So, okay, cruising on down. No surprises here. We knew we were gonna eat into the capital fund balance by doing the HMK remodel. So, actually, we're ending the year with a little bit more, at this point in time, a little bit more money in the capital fund balance than we had anticipated. So
Yay.
Last one, I'm sorry, how come the original budget? Oh, there, the original budget, 25-26 fund balance, that information right there is not just left. Hold on. What paper do we need? Here. So the last column is original budget 25-26 is different than the original budget 25-26
On that. page.
on the fund balance.
Oh, on the fund balance?
Yeah,
It's probably, I don't have a formula carried over correctly.
Oh,
Because you have to copy and paste them from the ending fund balance to the beginning.
so
fund
which one
balance.
is, which one?
we're looking at.
You're gonna be looking at,
This one, these.
yep, so the one, I had to update that. It's gonna be that, it's gonna be the yellow one now.
I don't see yellow.
Well,
Oh,
Right
sorry,
here?
yeah.
Second.
Yep.
Okay.
So I
this is
didn't
the
copy
original?
and paste
Yeah.
that over correctly, yeah.
Okay.
So
But
it's
this
going,
kinda looks.
that's the actual right there, so that's
Yeah.
where it comes from.
That looks
That's the
right, but
actual,
that's the
and then-
number.
Yeah.
That's not the right
That's
beginning
not-
number.
No, so that one, the formula didn't get copied and pasted
Okay.
over
I'm
correctly.
gonna look at that, but
And now you're gonna look at the yellow one.
yeah.
So that both start, yep,
Okay,
that's just my typo error, so thank you.
is this in spread, is it in like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a lot. of-
There's a lot in the spreadsheet.
Don't touch that formula.
Okay, so cruise down to the next one. Any more questions on that? Sorry, on either the debt service or capital levy? Hearing none, I'm cruising to Fund 49. Okay, this is the child nutrition program. A couple of things I want to highlight here, just like with the rest of the district programs. Salary is a big chunk of their budget. You can keep cruising down just a little bit. But what I do want to keep going, so I can see the expenditures. What I do want to highlight right there is the food. I'm pleasantly surprised, I'll be honest. We originally budgeted at 545 with the cost of kind of everything over this last year. It's at 573. Kudos to Sarah and her staff. They've made some inventory changes and some menu changes to keep inventory under control and kind of be consistent using the same brands and foods across campuses. I actually think that when we move into June, I'm hopeful that that's actually gonna trend down a little bit or stay where it's at, that those funds won't be going up. She's done a good job over the next couple of months to use up inventory that we have on hand so that the food costs in April, May, and June are, April and May, I guess, are a lot less. The thing to notice there is we had budgeted to transfer 600,000 from the general fund. Right now, it's set at about 578. The way that the nutrition program has been trending, it's trending in the great direction. I actually think that's going to be closer to about 550 by the end of the year. So transferring a little less into that fund than we had anticipated for a variety of reasons: food costs, better food management, inventory management, staffing. We've reduced HMK Kitchen by 1 full-time staff this year. So just the kind of overall better management of the program. So then if you'll go back,
Wait.
Oh. You're good.
All right, there's only 4. Okay, sorry. There's only 4 lines on that one, not 5. Okay. Columns, I mean.
Oh.
That threw me off a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay,
so
So
we
if
don't
you
have we don't have a previous year, but. Yeah,
you have an original.
we have an,
Where's that my phone?
We don't
They're
have
25.
25.
There's no-
You don't have the actual.
We don't have the actual
Yeah.
white column, the white column there.
Oh, that's probably my mistake. That probably should say that at the top. That's actually,
but then the
Oh.
numbers don't match at the
you don't have
bottom.
the actual from the actual year end.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then the numbers on the fund balances aren't. Yeah, something's.
you just
askew
don't
there.
have the actuals of where that one started from. It's gonna be the pink side. The 184 and the 210, that's what we ended last year with.
So again, that peach column, my formula isn't right.
This one. Okay,
Use the peach one, or the pink one. Cause that was our original budget last year, and then it's supposed to copy and hard paste, but. Didn't copy and hard paste correctly. Okay, so if you wanna go back to the. First page after the title page, this is the kind of overall summary. All the funds put together. Revenues at the top there, as we went through those, they're up. Go back up, right there. Revenues are up, a little over $1 million. So, and then if you cruise down a little bit, you'll see that the expenses were also up. They're a little less than $1 million. It shows we have actually a surplus of 198,000 at mid-year, and then because we've budgeted to transfer that amount of funds, I'm not changing the 600,000, so you'll still see the 600,000. But at the end of the day, we'll be eating into the fund balance about $400,000. The goal was 500,000 for the board when we did the TNT and the different changes, so, we're trending right where we were anticipated to be and where the goal was. It's actually 100,000 less that will be 100,000 less than what we thought we would be eating into the fund balance, but at the end of the day, so that's a good number. I mean, I know our goal was 500, but 400 is kind of where we're trending now. We'll see what happens with the final budget revisions, that I'll get from the Utah State Board of Education at the end of in the middle of May. But I'm actually really happy that we ended last year with a $4.2 million fund balance, and this year we're right now projecting to be at 13.8. The goal was to bring that down a little bit and trending in that direction.
13.6.
no, revised is 13.8. Original is 13.8.
Okay.
So actually up a little bit more than what we had budgeted to eat into it a little bit more than right now where it's trending to be. I'll be optimistic that we'll end maybe close to that, 13.8. So, cool. Any questions? Questions? And if you have more as you look through this even more, I mean, you can certainly come and see me. I'll be, honestly, as soon as I get the state's updates, starting on the final budget revision for this year for this one, and then also beginning 2027. I have the preliminary numbers for that, so we'll be starting on that in the next week.
Okay, any public, this is a public hearing to get any public comment, Sarah? Okay.
On revenues and 3500, there's a new line item, school-based educated support bonus. Was funded at like $110,000. Just wonder if you could explain that more and how what that's going towards.
That was a one-time appropriation from the state legislature to give a bonus to all of the support staff, like with custodians, the secretaries, all of that. We had to send in, that's what we projected we would spend. We had to actually send in our payroll numbers and then reimburse us exactly, which was 97,000. That is not being funded by the state legislature next year.
That has been to be out this year.
Yep, we gave it to all of them, and if we had to spend it and send it out by November, that's been spent and gone and reconciled.
Could you tell me what page that was that on?
That was just the revenue.
Oh, the revenue page. On
It was the
state,
school-based education support bonus, is that what you meant? The 110,000.
where, let's see. Do you have a number? Do you have a number?
5659.
5659. Thank you.
And then business services. The services, the employee salaries was originally budgeted at 638,000, but in the revised, it's 969,000.
And part of that is, as we were going through this, we just saw where someone's payroll is coming out of business services and it should come out of a different account, so that will be changing next time. So I adjusted the budget to reflect what is in there now, but when I audited the business services, there is an employee in there that their payroll should be coming out of a separate.
So what are they being funded under now?
Right now, they're being funded under this. They will be
They're
moved,
gonna be moving into that.
they'll be being moved up to district administration. And so that will increase the district administration budget a little bit. It will lower this one significantly.
Will you tell us the numbers on that?
There's a number of factors playing into that. We're not going to come down and review about that.
One of them is this, when I get off of this, I need to move someone.
It's not revenue, it's expenses, right?
That'll be reflected in the next.
Oh, I'm sorry, six. You have six.
Yeah, that will be reduced in the next group of them.
Just gonna be.
Well,
2,500.
2,500, okay. And so you're revising the budget to,
I'm not right now, so when we do it again, there's an employee in there, when I audited it, that should be in a different. Coming out of a different fund, so that will be
which fund will it go out of?
23.
It'll go into 23?
Yes, so 23 will go up a little bit. And that's, I caught that after I'd done this and I.
Also in that same section, you know, supply money is also significantly more.
So that's two things. One of that is some safety upgrades here at the district office, that the school safety grant does not cover any safety upgrades at a district level, and those were mostly due to that. Yeah, because we thought the same when I sent in the grant. And then they're like, yeah, district doesn't count, so I had to move it all back. And so that's the big change there.
Thanks, Sarah. Are you done, Sarah? Sorry. Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments? All right. I'm gonna be closing the public hearing. and Public comment part of this meeting. But remember that if you do have any budget questions, please contact Jerry. And she can answer those.
Stop in.
Okay. Where are we at here? HMK site improvements. Matt, you provide us an update of the HMK site. Oh, do I have to tell a time? We're closing that at 6:33. Closing.
Okay, so as you know, we talked about finishing the HMK site improvements, with the final piece being the plazas in the back, and then some exterior work along the back fence and down to the south end of the property. We had one responsive bidder submit a bid. The board has the opportunity later tonight to award that contract. It's to Trihurst Construction. You can see the base bid there. 444,479. That does include a 4% contingency. And really, again, this is our project where we're trying to take the maintenance of those two areas and make it as simple as possible. Put in a lot of turf in. It is an investment in turf. back in that application, making it more usable and just cleaning it up so that, it matches the rest of the site improvements that we've done. Nothing changed as far as the plan. There's no alternates. So kind of just where we're at with our one responsibility. Questions about,
Where's Triders from? They're not.
they're out of, Landing.
Oh, oh.
They did our football field and track project. We were happy.
Did you talk about anything in audit committee about this or?
We haven't talked about it since we were, facility, but this is in the ballpark of where we thought we would be.
Any questions about this? Okay, tabulation. Okay. Moving on. If I miss anything, I'm bouncing around. Consent agenda, correct? Yes. So last meeting, there weren't the financial reports, so we have the March check register, revenue report, and expenditure report. And that's it. So I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jenna Woodbury makes a motion, Kathy Bloom seconds. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And passes 5-0. All right, here are some possible action items tonight. We have first, the approval of the revised fiscal year 25-26 budget.
Make a motion to approve the 25-26 revised budget.
Second.
Jenna Woodbury makes a motion, Dave Bearsley seconds to approve the revised budget of fiscal year 25-26. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye, that passes 5-0. Approval of trust lands plan, school year 26-27.
I move to approve the school year 26-27 trust land plans as.
Second. Second. Dave Bearsley makes a motion, Kathy Williams seconds to approve the school year 26-27 trust lands plans as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. 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 It passes 5-0. Approval of the superintendent contract. The board has the opportunity to approve the employment agreement between the Grant County School District Board of Education and Superintendent Matthew Kais. That is attached. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the employment agreement between the Board of Education and Superintendent Coase.
I'll second it.
Kathy Williams makes a motion, Dave Burchett seconds to approve the employment agreement between Grant County School District Board of Education and Superintendent Matthew Kais. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. 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 That passes 5-0. Congratulations. Locked down. Communication.
I'm on this, Zoom committees, for the Utah School Board. Used to school board. Board of Education, yeah. Thank you. Discussing the Utah leadership standards, which were last revised in 2018. And the USDA representatives, the rural representative. And we have a draft, so I don't think we've been going, it's kind of. Okay. But it's kind of interesting.
What is it? Yeah.
To revise the state leadership. What we want to see in leadership.
In schools.
Yes.
Or
So
like administrative, like
Yes.
principals,
Everybody.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Most-
standard.
Yeah, leadership, but yeah, administration.
So you're a representative for your rural, you and somebody else are representative,
Yes.
representing
I mean, at
rural
least that's what,
districts.
yeah, there's two of us. There's a lot of different people.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's too bad that we haven't had it in person, but it just gets tricky with all this. Sauce.
How many people are on this committee?
I think at least 20 different.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you do it through Zoom.
Yes.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, good.
And I enjoy the LA.
Mm.
Thank you.
That's all my council.
Kathy?
Same here, Reality Town was cool, and, car show went well. We had about 300 cars and 10,000 people. But I will be getting everybody a schedule of the hamburger cooking
oh, yeah.
events that will be at the middle school, high school, and grade school tomorrow. I'll send that out.
Dave, how did the parking go? It was an HHK.
I don't know.
That was
PTA,
PTA.
that's
Yeah,
PTA.
how did that go?
Good, we made about $600. I got a good sunburn.
On communication concerning the board retreat. We talked about that briefly. I'm working with School Leadership Alliance on some professional development. The week of June 29th. How does,
Oh, God, it's a turkey hunt. That was that breath.
No, May's turkey, I mean,
Oh, okay.
June's just kind of a month.
You said June 29th?
yeah, the last 2 days of June and.
Oh, okay, like it's a month.
So,
Would it be 1 day or 2 days?
1 day,
So it would be like.
we-
during the day.
just 1 day, like if we were to plan that for July 1st or
Oh,
June 30th. I mean, I don't know if we have a set day we do retreats on, but is there a day that week? Obviously, the end is towards the holidays, so preferably not that, but
if I had a preference, I would say not Monday, but I can, because I have something, but I can cancel it. It's okay to cancel that on the Monday, 29th. But I had a preference.
and if that window works good, just like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, maybe I will see if we can't narrow down a date with them for one of those 3 days, so it's 29th to 30th or the 1st.
We should have agenda plan it.
There is an agenda planning.
But that we can.
That's,
can be-
that
that
would
could be
good
moved.
if it was a Wednesday, since we always do Wednesdays.
Mhm.
But
I'm flexible.
Okay, yeah.
Those 3 days are,
I'm flexible.
they're bad, but fine.
Bad, but fine, okay.
And can we get USU?
Yeah, I'm. Shoot 'em.
June 29th, 30th. The first, right?
And the 29th is
I haven't had something to do that. Figure that out. If.
so June 30th would be the.
Yeah, Tuesday would possibly be my
Be ideal.
preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesdays.
Wednesday would, well, but you,
I can, that's fine. I can.
okay.
I can.
I'm just trying to stay away from that. Okay. Okay. Any other communications? Alright. We need to go into executive, talk about some awards or some personnel. I'll accept a motion to reset.
Third move we recess.
For a second,
Second.
Dave Beershire makes a motion, Laura Lee Green second. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. We'll reset at 6:43.
Oh, I just got, I don't want to cough because I don't want to say, but I just.
Thank you.
Saturday is the Wellness Collective thrive at Rotary. It's really cool. Like a health, wellness, mental health, all of the above. I didn't get to go last year. Coalition talks about it, but I'm going.
For you.
Fire.
What do they do with that?
It's like it starts it technically starts at, well, like noon. They do morning yogas and all that for places. But it's like, it's a really cool thing. It's like, it's the wellness collective, so everything is like healthy.
Sure.
They tie in health to it, and it's like food, but it's actually like a town.
Yeah. So is
I
it,
can find the reading, the write-up of it. I just know that I really wanted to go last year, and I'm typing it up a lot this year, because it was successful last year. Let me find the little
Okay.
thing and I'll read it to you, because I was just like, oh, I'm making this happen. I don't know, just like a cool, here it is.
I wonder.
I do it.
in charge of it.
Oh, yes.
Who is the Wellness Collective?
Oh, you don't know the Wellness Club?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Like, who
So they do-
organizes that?
It's important. No, it's like, I know where they're located. It's, do you know, like my neighbor?
Is it like a not-for-profit called the Wellness Collective? Is a
Yes,
not-for-profit?
yes, because they're on the coalition with us. Like they are
Okay.
part of
Got
our
it.
coalition in
Yeah.
town. So I
Right.
hear about all their fun stuff they do. Like here's their, I mean, this is the calendar. This is
Right.
like, they do a lot of like wellness, yoga, they do, they do everything. Like this is just their calendar of
Sure.
events they have, and it's just really, it's kind of, that's a good question though. Like, what is their thing? Like, what, I know what they are, but
Right.
it's like,
And like
so.
somebody must run the.
Yes, they do, yeah, and
Administrative.
let me look at it. Look at that, Instagram. Wellness Collective. This is the Thrive thing on this weekend, May 2nd. So, it's a very community,
How long
right
have
up
they
here.
been doing it?
This is only their second
This
year,
year,
yeah.
last year's
Yeah.
Google attendance.
Yeah, but as far as their, I think what you're looking for, the tagline, like, what, how would you describe?
Have a great night.
Or
You too.
collective
Have a good night, guys.
website, okay.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. You'd be like, it's just a real, I don't know.
It's not profit. Equitable access to.
We need it. The Thrive is, it's not catered to mental health, I think, but it might be a little bit more, but it's like celebratory, it's, yeah, you should probably be aware of that. Sure. It's a group that would be on the list, Brianne,
I don't know. I don't, Brianne.
she's her husband is,
That's her.
yeah, she's, why is my brain foggy today? Her husband is, he's a mentor. He has, the cool fake leg, little wire, the one that the Olympic runner has.
Cool, no, I mean, I know what you're talking about. Anyway, it's got this,
Yeah.
the cool
He
person.
owns oars, like he runs oars. Seth,
Oh.
he runs like he's like own oars, right? Because oars is the huge, isn't it? Like a.
Yeah.
So he's like
Like
their
the
main
manager,
guy,
yeah.
the main guy there. And then I thought she kind of ran the wellness collective, to be honest. I thought Brianne did. She might, but anyway, I'm a big fan because I think what they do is really cool.
Yeah.
And they, I hear, we're on the coalition, we get to hear what everybody does. in the
Yeah, yeah,
community,
yeah.
And how it ties into kids, but for
Yeah.
adults, and it's just a very,
So.
Utah-based nonprofit, so it's a nonprofit.
And do kids go to
Yes,
that?
yes.
Like they'll go to that thing
Yeah,
at
right.
Rotary?
Yeah.
Right? It's like a family, they'll have family oriented
stuff
too. Right.
Yeah, it's pretty, cool.
That's.
Anybody that's putting the wellness out there, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I'm a supporter of that stuff. I'm all about that. Even if I don't show up and I'm laying on my sofa, I'm like, yeah. I support wellness.
No, you don't. You
Oh.
haven't been to my.
I don't have in your class. I'm like,
I missed it today.
I almost went to the gym just so I could peek in and watch.
I was like,
It's not
I had
my,
2 payrolls, quarterly, this meeting.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 workouts yesterday, so I was like.
Dude, you were at the end of like making the quarterly.
I know.
Like a midnight, 11:58, something.
You know what?
You know what's
Thursday.
You know what's happening in my
Yeah,
life,
I
right?
walked in and you're on the
All I
phone
know
talking
is
about.
I had dinner there the other night and someone said, bless Melissa. That's exactly what I heard. And I said, I'm not sure
Was
she
it an
feels.
employee or was it like was a person?
Let
Like
me
a-
tell you, I'm
a-
keeping the doors open.
It was an employee
And
and
it's all
she
me.
said, bless Melissa Bird. And I said, I'm not sure Melissa feels the same.
Right.
That's what I
She's just
said.
like, her head above water.
Like,
I'm
I'm dying to know what this has to say, because I'm not on Facebook. I wanted to text you the other day and go, is everything going down?
I just
Or-
know that
Still
they said,
recorded.
bless you. And I said, I'm not sure that she feels the same. It's a lot.
it's been a lot.
Yeah.
There's a steep learning curve when you don't have any type of training. I was
Right.
like, where's my Pat Wilson?
Yeah.
No, but I've had some good people to call and ask questions, and so I'm lucky, but it's still
Steve, oh, and I,
like, the learning curve is even, and I've been doing bookkeeping
Different.
for 30 years.
well, this is not.
And this, I'd like, yeah,
Yeah. I'm not.
I
part
can
of
look
the,
at a budget.
this is not part of communications, but I'm on the Citizens Academy.
Oh.
I'm missing it now. I hope I show up. No, it's okay, because they're driving tonight, so.
What
I'm
is
like,
that?
Oh, it is
Citizens?
It is amazing. So it's, so the police department, my police department, this took place in Salt Lake.
Dawn saw that.
Yeah. So this is a big thing up in Salt Lake. So, both Lex and, James are the assistant police super from that area. They all work together. Amazing units. And I'm not just saying that because this is being recorded. They are. And I happen to have the opportunity to get to know James quite well. Like he helps me.
Was he the guy that was
Target
used to
training.
be the police
No.
chief here?
No, they're new. So, but they started a Citizens Academy and it just, they took applications, they're very selective. It was like really cool, but basically it is putting you through police schools. Like in a very a minor version, to let you see what actually happens on the police force. And they do everything. So tonight they're doing the crazy driving, they put you through it. Next week will be.
Are you on this?
Oh, yeah.
So
Something
you
like that.
applied for this?
Oh, yeah, well, I have a conceal and all that,
Okay.
I do all that stuff.
Okay.
For time, but yeah, it's,
I knew that.
right. That's what I do. But it is so fun. So when the class started, it started last week and it runs for the whole, until the very end and we get graduation and everything. But it is from 6 to 9 every Wednesday. It is intense. But like we did a tour of the jail last week. I mean, it was like, and all these different employees and the different places they give us like a big spiel. It is like, it's a major PR is what it is. And to help people understand how difficult, like not so much how difficult their job is, but to see what the other side is really like.
How many
you
people?
know? And I'll tell you, and like Lizzie Ramirez from the paper is on it. You have so many people, mostly local, which I think is amazing, that are attending this and they are explaining. I mean, both Lex and James, Blanton, the chief and assistant are like just so kind of good people that they were like, hey, come in, let us teach you everything that we do. And it is amazing. So like the first 5 minutes, we're all sitting in there. There's probably, they capped a class of 25 because they, and we're sitting there and they're instructing. And then sure enough, out of the blue, and I was not even stunned, comes James coming in with a fake, like, what are you guys doing? He's like pretending he had a gun and to the instructor. And he had a real taser, but James is in a complete outfit that you can be tased in.
Okay.
And he's like, stop. And backing up, like putting us through what it's like when someone is charging you and how you can't just not fire if
Right.
they are coming at you. And he got a taser, it was cool. And he's,
Did he
he
tase
was, yeah, full tasted, but he's got the outfit on. So- But it was like,
Oh, cool.
bam, it was awesome. And our friend's daughter is in the class, your good friend, that's on the suicide group with us. Yeah, her daughters. Kylie is.
Wow.
Yeah, because she's thinking about going into criminal justice. We have 2 kids that were under 21 that got accepted in.
Wow.
And she's a senior. I kind of hung with her for a little while. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So is the purpose
So-
of this,
It's to help us understand, it's a way to bring the community in.
and then
law
you're gonna be
enforcement.
the liaison, or you're gonna be out there and
Exactly.
because you have your friend group that you can like talk about.
It's a good PR thing, but
Right.
it's also just transparency. It's like,
Right.
and in one class, I learned a lot. We're gonna get to see from their side, and even going into the jail and they explain every little thing, like they go here, then we do this. It just was really, really amazing. But it was so funny after that little demonstration, they're like, okay, is there anybody in here that's very, very uncomfortable right now?
Mhm.
Because we want you to know this is a perfect time for you if this is not your thing, and everyone's like, oh yeah, that's great. So
So
tonight,
there's men and women.
yes, I would say most people are under 45.
Are there mostly men? I would think it'd be
No,
mostly men.
no.
No.
I would say it's split. I think they did
Maybe
that
they
purposely.
did on purpose,
Yeah, they,
right?
they
Exactly.
selected
Right, right.
people, and we all had to do background checks, like
Did some people-
fingerprint, the whole thing.
Did some people
Yeah.
not get?
Yes, a lot did get chosen, yeah. I
Did
mean,
you have to interview?
no, we had to fill out a full application
And maybe what,
and then.
like a little
what we
spiel of
do,
like what,
And
yeah.
I'm sure they looked at it, they looked into it, but like Mr. Ramirez from paper is in there.
That's
You've got
interesting.
several park rangers that are not law enforcement. You've got a lot of people just like we all had to introduce ourselves. But it's a really cool group of people, like a mix of age and then 2 younger people. And one of the city commissioners' daughter is in the class, the one who just got an award here. The last time,
Makes the best food.
you
on
said
the
the
plate.
last name,
The
her dad.
The city commissioners?
City council. City council.
Was it Jacques? Who was this?
It's not Josh.
They are neighbors,
Jacques.
yes.
It's.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's one of the city. And she's the tallest.
Melanie
lady.
McCammon. Melanie McCammon.
Nope, no, her dad is,
They are neighbors.
you know who the daughter, you would know this girl, she was just in. Not through the month or something, she's
So
skinny,
there's
cute, she's a
Cole
senior,
or Colin,
she's a.
Jason,
Jason,
She's good, yeah.
what's the daughter's name?
Izzy?
Yes. Izzy.
Oh, Izzy's in it?
Yeah, it was so hysterical when we're all introducing, she's like, so I'm Jason Taylor's daughter, and it's kind of funny, she's got a great personality. But she and, and they're, seniors, but they're thinking about,
Mhm.
maybe something in this field, one day, so. But it was great.
Hear about this one?
Oh, yeah.
No, well, James told me about it, I knew about it was coming
Yeah.
last, like a long time ago.
Yeah, can you
I
believe
do,
that?
I go out in the rain,
And shoot.
and he helped
Oh,
give us lots of money with this city, just a nice piece of volunteer.
Yeah.
do that as a, it's a really cool thing. So it's the first time doing it. It's like, it was in the paper, it's been. And then, like you said, it will go out and we will be able to share.
Right.
Really smart thing to do.
Ready?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just when we're gonna get it, other things that animosity or that,
And, it's like the community doesn't want, the movies, they're against us,
Yeah.
as opposed to for us.
Yeah, and they get to
When do
explain.
they start on, so the school's out?
You'll start,
I'm at 5%.
Years ago, like.
you're charging?
Yeah.
Maybe it's working.
That's like a whole,
We're at 5%.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's taken this long.
yeah, something's wrong.
Did you kill it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Smart.
Are you talking about
Smart.
your-
They're against
you
guys. And he also has a leadership.
What was that?
What are you charging?
My remarkable?
And is there some secret to it or something?
I don't know. I can't, no, I
I
don't know the secret.
It has, well, obviously you've been using it for a long time at normal
No.
charges,
Yeah, it's only a couple months, yeah.
but
Have you been back?
is there something new about the charging is what I'm.
No, I don't think so.
But hers and Matt's both stopped charging.
Yeah.
Oh, it's stop charging, okay, that's what.
Yeah,
In charge all of a sudden.
Are you alive? How are you handling it?
That's why I'm in here with a purple notebook tonight.
I was wondering why you're carrying around a full notebook today.
Had it yesterday.
No, not.
Did you Google it? There,
I haven't Googled anything, yeah,
something about something that does something to do something.
probably.
I mean, yeah, it's probably, if it's 2, that's probably up 2,000 or 2 million.
No, what's Kathy? I haven't asked Kathy.
That's why we just have our phones and we don't worry about it.
Oh,
But
Oh, that's
as
what
we
you
were
say
speaking
back
at
to
the
me.
finance committee, you could see that
What?
the high school please $60,000
That's
or
how you,
something.
that's how you got to know me.
Electronic.
Well, but. Good note, but you know, but you saw me on the board. Oh, yeah. I know your name, I know you. And actually,
For years
I'm
from
glad
now.
you're-
Plan for that, like, your budget cycle, yeah.
I literally, when I saw that.
Especially now that all of us have that.
It's gonna be one way or the other. You know what? And you knew that too.
Yeah, oh
You
yeah,
knew
but
that too. I
thought you'd be a little bit more.
You thought.
Is that coffee?
Like,
Wow. In the end, in the end, I'm disappointed. I know, I'm just like.
I'm just.
I'll be
kidding.
back.
You're just
I'm
normal,
just normal.
regular questions that don't have any,
Right,
any.
because you know why? Because things are good. I like what I see. What can I say?
Yeah.
Hey, you've seen the tag on my truck, right? So you know.
Mine does. Yours?
Oh,
It turned off. It's okay. I mean, it's one.
All right. We're gonna come out of recess at 7 o'clock. Okay, we're gonna need to go into executive session to talk about personnel. I'll accept a motion to go into to executive session for personnel.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel.
There's a second.
I'll say.
Kathy Williams makes a motion, Laura Lee, need seconds to go into executive to talk about personnel. Roll call vote.
Laura Lee Green, yes.
Jennifer Berry, yes.
Melissa Bird, yes.
Kathy Williams, yes.
Dave Beershey, yes.
All right, that's 5-0. We'll go into executive at 7:01. Look, we got a professional over there.
Okay, so it's stopped,
Yeah,
but it's personal, so it goes back on. right?
zero.
Yeah.
Zero. Okay, then we'll start it just for a second.
Okay.
All right, it is 7:01. Grant County School District Board of Education is in closed session. It's April 29th, 2026. All board members are present. We also have Matt, Jerry, and Nishay here. And we're gonna turn off the recorder to talk about personnel.
Also, wait. And also it's. Shelley.
Oh,
What?
He's also part of the citizens. Oh, well, sharing the names.
oh. Thank you.
It's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
forgot that.
It's
I
just
don't know
kind of
who
cool
you're
that we
talking
haven't
about.